Drive really wasn't that bad.
Really?
Yeah, autopiloted the entire way.
Yeah, 4.5 hours.
Yeah, it ain't shit.
Because when you texted me, you're like, I'll be there at 2:30, and then you're like, at 2.5 hours.
Well, it's because we stopped. We stopped for an hour to charge.
Oh,
and
okay.
then also stopped to eat some food.
Gotcha.
Sonic.
Yeah, because you're like, I was expecting you to get here at like noon, I think, right?
Yeah.
That was the original plan?
Well, I was going to leave earlier, but we left around like 10 o'clock.
Gotcha. Yeah. So total trip time.
I think total trip was like 5 hours.
5 hours for the podcast, and you're going back right after this, right?
Yeah.
You got to do it. You made it happen.
It's not that bad. Honestly, I was getting so bored sitting at home too. Like that was one thing. And then like all this shit happening with my mom and like various other things.
Right.
Like it was time to get out.
How is it being back?
It's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little bit boring.
Because you moved back right before me, right?
Yeah, I moved back before you, but I was supposed to come back.
Yeah.
In like, I can't remember, like February 21st or maybe March 21st. I can't remember. But I flew from from LA to Chicago, and then Chicago to Toronto. And in Toronto, I was there for Splash Man's birthday.
Shout out to Splash Man.
Shout out Splash Man. And, I came back to Chicago. I had my flight booked for LA that weekend whenever I came back. So it was February. And then flights get canceled.
Yep.
Like they're all canceled. And I'm like, fuck, like I really wanted to go back. And then all this stuff on the news about like, I think I saw, I don't know who it was posting on their story.
Hustler.
It was Hustler.
He freaked me out too. That was the main reason I packed up so quick.
He posted all these army trucks and everything, how they're going to shut the borders. And I'm just like, shit.
Yeah.
I can't go back.
Can't go back.
And then I decided to just stay. And I kind of like the vibe at home anyways. No expenses, just chilling, waking up, just feeling very comfortable.
Right.
Which is good and bad. And we'll get into that. But yeah.
Well, it looks like you've definitely been super productive.
Oh, yeah.
Since being home.
Very productive.
LA has so many distractions.
Too many distractions. Earth every meal.
Yeah. Too many ways to spend money. Yes. That's crazy. Endless amounts.
Endless amounts, man. I really want to talk about our LA experience too. Just like reminisce on it.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I picked Faiz up today, I got to make sure to pick you up because here's the situation that's going down at the apartment.
Let's hear it.
I'm sure you tuned in my lives with the neighbor, right? The crazy neighbor at my old apartment.
Yes.
And how the maintenance guy was trying to get dropshipping advice and all this.
Yeah.
When I came here, I'm like, I won't have to deal with that anymore. Dude, this front desk lady, every time I've picked up a package the past 4 times,
oh, no.
she's asked me to buy her things. She tells me specifically what she wants. She tells me her shoe size. She tells me when her wedding is. She says that
her wedding is?
Yeah,
she's getting married.
Like, okay, this is the last interaction I had with her, and I was done after this. She knows about the Oura ring. You know, it's this $300 ring. It tracks everything.
Tracks your sleep too.
Tracks your sleep, your activity, your mental readiness. And I go to pick up a package. I go, I believe I have a package. And she goes, I want you to buy me that. And I go, oh, what, this? I had something, it was like a shaker bottle. Shaker bottle in my left hand. And she's like, no, I want you to buy me that ring. And I'm like, oh, yeah. You know, Christmas is right around the corner, just trying to make a joke. And she goes,
trying to entertain it.
You know, I'm getting married September 12th, right? And I'm like, oh, really? And then she's like, yeah. And then so like, dude, weird. So
just out of nowhere, she starts to ask you for things.
So
did she know you from before?
No. So
it's a completely new person.
We just started chatting because this is when I lived here before. She didn't live here. It all started with that keyboard, that rainbow keyboard.
Yeah.
She goes, you know, I thought this was you when I saw this. So when are you buying me one? And I'm like, I thought she was joking. And then the next time I came, she made a reference to buying me something because she's like, you're in a lot of packages. You should buy me something. And by the way, this lady's like 56. This is no like young girl.
Okay.
And I'm like, oh, that would be funny, you know, if I make a package, say like 4 concierge as the name.
Yeah.
And then she's like, my shoe size is 8, 8.5 actually. And then she told me the brand. She's like, and I'm like, this is fucked up. So I don't go in there. So I'm learning. Unless I'm trying to establish a business connection, I just don't talk to people about what I do.
Wow.
Especially around this town.
Okay. So how are you gonna go moving forward and kind of ghost her?
I only pick up packages at like midnight.
Okay.
Yeah, I just go to the midnight roll.
Valid solution.
Absolutely. So you started drop shipping, right?
Yes.
That's the start of so many people.
Well, no, I started with a clothing brand first.
I didn't know this.
And it was kind of like, I was drop shipping before I even knew what drop shipping was. And it's just kind of funny because I had seen ads about drop shipping and like I knew about all this stuff. But what really got me inspired was I was a sophomore in high school. I had just broken up with my only girlfriend I've ever had, literally the only girl that I ever loved. I was just like, fuck that shit. Like now I got to really go hard because like I don't want to do school because that's what she wanted to do. And like I was making apps at the time. I don't know if you knew this about me either. But like I was developing apps.
You're 16?
Games. Yeah, I was 16 at this time. Yeah. Actually, I was 15 and a half.
Oh my God.
Yeah, because my birthday is like after the school year, May 31st. So I'm developing apps and like I'm not making any money off this, but I'm getting a lot of downloads and like a lot of notoriety because of it. So I came across this one YouTube video from this dude named Justin Escalona. I don't know if you know who he is.
No.
But he is also a, he's from the Chicago suburbs. He started vlogging on YouTube. He blew up on YouTube. He had a series called Daily Docs and he moved to LA and he created a clothing company out of his fan base that he had, like just like a clothing company based around something that he just loved, which was like, partying, getting fucked up, doing all this fun shit. And it was called 1340. And like, I saw the way that he did it and I'm like, you know what, I can probably do this too with, the small following that I had, if I had like 500 followers or something. And then, using the organic Instagram growth tactics with following people and unfollowing them, liking their stuff, doing all, I did the whole 9 yards with that. And I launched the clothing company in March of 2017 or 2016. I mix up the years, but yeah, just used a bunch of like growth hacking tools. And I launched it with just the Instagram, just like posting designs and like getting feedback on what people think. So in a way I did kind of do print on demand because I got samples made, one-off samples with like, I don't know what website, like Teespring or something, got one-off samples made, took pictures of them, listed on the website and started getting orders. And then after 2 weeks, I would fulfill the orders using the money that I got. So like basically using the drop shipping method, print on demand.
So wait, were you doing this on your personal Instagram or was
No, it was on the company
Gotcha.
Instagram.
So people were just buying it because they like the design.
Yeah. People were just buying because they like designs. And I was like strategically following people that follow these startup clothing brands. So they support like this. And this whole like streetwear come up thing was such a big thing in 2017, 2016. Like, I don't know if you knew about that, but like it was big. Like everyone and their mom wanted to start a clothing brand.
Yeah, I remember that. Because Supreme really started taking off around then.
We did like limited drops and like kind of hyped it up, but like it was really just Gildan clothing with basic screen prints. So I probably made like $15,000 total.
Profit or revenue?
Profit.
Damn.
Yeah.
So and what time period?
In 8 months.
Damn, that's a lot for a 15-year-old.
Yeah, in high school, like 15 and a half, turning 16. I turned 16. I run the brand up during the summer, like just kind of have fun, just enjoying myself, not making any crazy money. And I don't know what happened. It was like Black Friday of 2017, I think, like November 2017. And I was just like, I gotta make some money, but I don't know how I'm gonna do it. And I had the clothing brand up at this time, but I find out about drop shipping right before that because I don't know if you know Andrew McCarthy. Shout out to Andrew.
Absolutely.
Andrew's like he's literally like my first ever ecom friend. And we did like a collaboration with my clothing store and his bikini brand that he had. We did a free plus shipping t-shirt that I designed and like he promoted it on the Instagram and I promoted it on our Instagram as a collab. And we got a bunch of people to like tag and repost and do all that stuff. And we were selling the t-shirt for free and then obviously $15 shipping.
Right, of course.
You know how the free plus shipping goes. We did that and I had my first ever like $1,000 day, like profit. Yeah. First ever $1,000 profit.
There's nothing like that day.
Nothing like that day. And I did that before I was drop shipping products. So that was a cool thing. And after that, like it's just started to go slowly downhill. And I'm like, okay, I need to do something else. And he told me about drop shipping. And mind you, I had already known about drop shipping. I've already seen like Ty Lopez's ads. I've seen everyone's like YouTube channel. Like I was very observant of the entire model, but I always found it super, super difficult to get into. And I was stuck in that analysis paralysis thing that a lot of beginners go through. And I just was like, you know what, I'm not going to do this. I missed the entire hoverboard wave. I missed the entire fidget spinner wave.
Wait, what year is this that you're starting to get an interest in drop shipping?
2017, I think.
Summer 2017?
Was that when the fidget spinners came out?
Yeah, that's exactly when I started too. Summer 2017. And I talked myself out of it.
Yes, I talked myself out of it too because I was like, I can't manage school. I can't do this. And like, I can't even process payments under my own name. So that was also one thing. Like, all of my dropshipping stores pretty much prior to me turning 18 were done under someone else's name, which is like,
wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't imagine starting a dropship under 18. I know it's possible.
Yeah,
I've seen tons of you guys do it, but
yeah, a lot of your students are very successful under 18, which is crazy.
Shout out Aiden. This kid's I think he just turned 14 and he pulled in 23,000 in a month.
Wow.
Like a couple months ago.
14. That's like freshman year, 8th grade.
Yeah, and it's so funny because he commented that on a YouTube video, and people were commenting, "Oh, this is bullshit."
Yeah.
People thought I was paying him to say it, and then he like posted a screenshot and everything and proved it. And even I had my doubts.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
14.
the 14-year-old is saying that. You're not gonna. I mean, it's hard to believe that, but
yeah,
that is fucking insane.
So you got into drop shipping.
Yeah.
So what brought you back into it? And by the way, I think there's a buzzing coming.
Yeah, slight buzz.
You hear that? I think this should fix it.
Is it good now?
The buzz is fixed.
Yeah, I don't hear any buzz anymore.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, we're good.
All right,
we're good.
Back to business.
Back in business.
What brought you around to dropshipping? Because what happened for me is I gave up dropshipping because I'm like, I don't want to waste my money on dropshipping when I'm about to move to LA to be an Uber driver.
Yeah.
And so what brought me back was I became an Uber driver and had the funds to go after it again.
Okay. So you got your startup funds from being an Uber driver in LA.
Yeah.
Okay.
So because I was saving up all this money to move to LA, and it's so ironic because the same product on the same Facebook page, on the same website with the same design that I gave up on. I tested it. I only ran PPE. I got a couple sales and I kept scaling the PPE. I'm like, fuck all these people telling me conversion ads, link clicks. I think I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I started losing a little money and I quit. And then that same one, 3 months later, that was supposed to be deleted by Shopify because I ended that account. When you end your account, it should be a month. They give you a month. This was 3 months. I opened up. Oh, it's still there.
It's still there.
I'm like, I'm going to try link click to add to cart to conversion, all of this. I launched it and then I moved back here, and on the way back, it took off. So it's weird how like my whole timeline would be different if I kept up with that and I scaled it as I moved there, because I would have never became an Uber driver in LA. Who knows what would have happened? Right. So what about you? What brought you back around to it?
Yeah. So I kept on falling into that loop of like, my clothing brand not making that much money. So I did one final drop like in, I can't even remember, like September maybe. Did a final like back to school sale or whatever. Barely made any money on it, and I just decided to shut it down. I told the Instagram, I'm like, yeah, we're done with this. It's been a great run. Thank you for your support. So then I started to pursue drop shipping full time.
Wait, if you're making money, how come you?
Well, it started to really go downhill after that summer, because I just started to just lose love with it. Yeah. Like, drop shipping was in the back of my mind. I'm like, there's a lot more money with this than there is with some like indie clothing brands. Yeah. So I start drop shipping in October of 2017, like exactly October.
That's crazy. That's October 11th, 2017 is when I launched that site.
I could probably pull up one of the emails and check like when I first got billed. I think it was like October 11th too.
Oh
like not that exact same day, but around that.
Let's pretend it
pretend it happened the same day. But I still remember the first ever store I did. I can say the name of it. I don't care. It was called like Kai LA or some shit. So it was like a mixture of Hawaii and also LA, because I loved both places so much, and I don't know, I didn't know how to come up with names, so just called it that. And it was a phone case store, and it was also a jewelry store. So it was like a cool like tropical aesthetic brand, because that's what my clothing brand was kind of like. I launched my first ever ad, which was an influencer ad on this page with like 900K followers, but like majority of them were botted. I didn't know like what was real and what wasn't. I paid like, I don't know, like $250 for that. But before I did that, I made the Shopify account with my debit card, and I picked the yearly subscription with it.
Oh my God.
So out of the gate, I was $300 down, because it's like yearly. I was like, okay, I'll save money by doing this.
Keeps you committed.
I do the first ad. I get 2 sales, but I'm overall not profitable on it. But still, like seeing these 2 sales come in out of nowhere, literally my first ever drop shipping sales, I was hooked already, even though I wasn't profitable.
Wait, were you running ads?
No Facebook ads.
Where did they come from?
Influencer. One influencer page. It was like a theme page.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So I did that for a little bit, was very unprofitable with that first store, and I decided to just cut it. And I was like, okay, I got to find the next product. So at the time, I don't want to say what the product is or whatever, but pretty much Andrew was selling the same product and he was selling it on Twitter. Now Twitter, I mean, you know all about Twitter, like you've done viral tweets and stuff like that too. But what we did was we had an ad network where they would place us on these influencer Twitters. And at the time, like Twitter was the shit. I mean, it still is, but not so much for drop shipping.
Yeah.
But it was a really good network that Andrew had access to, and he allowed me to have access to it as well because he was just nice, very
sick.
abundant guy. Like he's always looked out for me. And we sold the same exact product, same exact offer, and I was pulling like $1,000 days within my first week of doing that.
He didn't care about you using the same ad network?
He did not care even one bit.
That's like as direct competition as you can get. That's
literally,
crazy.
Dude, it was literally direct competition. Like I even copied the product names too. Like he knows this and he was fine with it. And I was like, dude, honestly, like I really appreciate that. And, you know, we ran that product up for pretty much all of Q4 of 2017. And I did about like $40,000 in Q4. I had a $10,000 day as well on Cyber Monday of 2017.
Wow. So that was your first $10,000 day.
That was my first ever $10,000 day. Yeah.
That would have been about 3 months after your first $1,000 day, right?
Yeah. Pretty much around that.
Yep.
It's crazy.
That's crazy.
Scale up like that, and that's just because the tweets went viral with the way the retweets go, and like it was just Cyber Monday too, so there was just a general influx of traffic.
And then, so what happened with that product as you developed?
It died down. I didn't know how to brand it. I didn't know how to do Facebook ads. I tried to learn about Facebook ads, but I had no idea. And Andrew and I would work together a lot of the times, and like we'd bounce off ideas and like, you know, in terms of like branding dropshipping stores, I know you like to do that too. We kind of did the same thing where we made like a cool name, cool logo, all that stuff, but we didn't actually private label the product because I had no idea how to do that. I wasn't able to,
right.
You know, I even though looking back at it, it is very easy to private label products now, but you know, getting a logo put on the watch and maybe making a custom box would have been, you know, maybe that store could have made me $1 million if I really wanted it to, but I just had no idea how to do anything. Yep. I didn't know how to do Facebook ads. I didn't know how to do Google ads. I didn't know how to do anything. So Andrew paid Dennis Hegstad. I don't know if you know him.
No.
Dennis Hegstad. Shout out Dennis. He has a cool Shopify app, which we will not be plugging because he's not paying me.
Oh. So basically Faiz is saying, fuck you, Dennis. Fuck you if you're watching.
Pay me. But Andrew paid Dennis for Facebook ad consulting because he was really good at that. And you know, Andrew kind of learned his ways through it. He started to make money, and this is like sort of the second wave of my dropshipping career too, because then I learned Facebook ads on my own, and like a little bit from Andrew, like he explained to me a little bit, but really the best way that I learned was watching YouTube videos and actually applying it after.
Yeah.
I didn't buy a single course. I didn't pay anybody a single dollar for consulting.
Yep.
I extracted knowledge for free and applied it to my own things. So
and that really shows like, if you really want it, you can get it. There's really
absolutely.
no shit. I didn't take a course at all. I didn't take even a Facebook ads course or anything. It's just I learned and asked questions big time. Because did you have like a Facebook group that you asked questions in? You didn't have that.
No.
It was pure testing.
Pure you know, creative testing too. Because my background is more creative than, you know, business wise. So I really applied like creative strategies to drop shipping to kind of mask that I'm selling like a shit product. And also another product that I ran up was very similar to the first product that I did, but this is whenever Facebook started to come into play, and I was pulling like $10,000 days consistently, but not really super profitable or anything. And you know, throughout that entire time, keep in mind again, I am like 16, 17 years old. And I'm still processing under like my parents and stuff. And like I would be getting Stripe accounts flagged. I would be getting my Shopify payments flagged. And I'm just running up so many different payment processors and everything because everyone is just shutting me down.
You're still doing some math homework on the side.
Dude, oh my God. I would be drop shipping in class. Like I remember this one memory very specifically. It was right after a math test in my junior year of school, and like I graduated school early and all that stuff, so like school was never really that important in my life. I would be in class like editing my ads, like scaling things up, and I remember my math teacher came up to me and he was like put your computer away. This is not the time to be doing this. I'm like, dude, I finished my test. I did my homework. I did all of that. And he was like, no, like, why are you even doing this? You should be focusing on school because that's what's really going to matter for you.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, you know, this stuff is cool, but is it going to last you? And I'm like, yes, it's going to fucking last me.
Have you seen that teacher since that day?
No,
you should go back in.
I haven't talked to a single teacher from school, and not even one of them has hit me up or anything at all. Like I honestly, like I was expecting to get some sort of attention after, you know, kind of like gaining a lot of followers and a lot of, you know, I don't know, just like recognition for what I'm doing right now. But literally not one person has even hit me up.
What do you do when someone from your, I'd say, pre-dropshipping or pre-e-commerce life hits you up and it's like, hey, like say someone from your high school, hey man, how have you been doing? You haven't talked to them in 3 years. How do you confront that, especially in a situation where you were friends with this person, but you guys just kind of just gradually disconnected, and then now all of a sudden they want to hit you up to have some coffee? Yeah.
So it's not the same. Like I've grown a lot as a person. I'm definitely not the same person I was 3 years ago, and I'm not the same person I was 6 months ago, honestly. So
definitely not.
I've grown out of those people. Like if they hit me up, like sure, like I'll be nice sometimes if they did fuck with me, if they supported me. But if they ever had an ounce of doubt in me, fuck you. Yeah, dude. I don't want to take part in any handouts or anything like that at all.
I went through that heavy, especially when I got the I-8. That's when the attention really started coming. And that was 2 months before I met Jared. So I went out with Jared, and obviously he'd done way more than sales. I mean, at the time, so he was in this longer. And I asked him that question. I'm like, what do you do when someone from like your high school or college hits you up that hasn't talked to you in years? Do you respond? He goes, not to a single one. And I'm like, holy shit. Because it's like I had this... At this place I bussed for 5 years, 6 years, there was this cook. He'd always fuck with me, throw food at my face, like do weird shit.
Damn.
Like, crazy.
Like just straight up bullying?
Yeah, straight up bullying. Wow. It's like, fuck you or whatever. That's just kind of the vibe there. Guess what? I get a message from him. Hey, Scott, so, I would just love to sit down with you. I'm no longer a cook at that restaurant. I'm a financial advisor, and I would love to just sit down with you, go over a game plan and all this. It's so funny how people will act friendly out of nowhere.
Well, best of luck to those people, but you can't, like, I mean, you already know, like, we can't give off our energy and our time to people like that, because most of the time they're gonna, like, even let's say we are the most kind people and we do offer them some sort of help because, you know, we might feel bad for them, they're still not going to fucking apply it. And what's going to happen is they're just going to keep on trying to leech off you and always just, you know, come to you for more knowledge. And let's say they become successful, like 9 times out of 10, they're just going to say, fuck you, and just leave, like never talk to you again type shit. Like I've had that happen to me too. Like I've learned the hard way.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how do you protect yourself from new people that you don't even know like that? Because that's
now I don't connect with anyone unless they provide me some sort of direct value.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you know, you could just go screw yourself.
It's a weird situation we're in because I would say, I'll go ahead and say this. I think pretty much everyone in the world would want our type of life, not in a cocky way.
Yeah.
But it's the fact that we don't have to work for anybody. We work for ourselves, and we hold creative control of what we do.
Absolutely.
So like when someone sees that, they instantly thinks when they find out. That's why I was telling you at the beginning of this, I don't like telling people anything about what I do.
Yeah.
I usually would just say, like, nowadays I'm going to say I work for the FBI. So leave it like that. Can't talk about shit.
Can't talk about it.
But like I've had a situation. Remember when I went to Colorado?
Yeah.
There was this one girl who saw us filming at a gas station on the way. Crazy. She was like, oh, what are you guys doing? We're filming a video. Where'd you grow up or whatever? She grew up 10 minutes away from me, random place in Colorado. And so she was like, hey, I'm coming to St. Louis in 2 weeks. We should totally hang out. I'm like, okay. And then her sister messages me and says, hey, Scott, something. And then she messaged me and goes, hey, my sister actually owns a business in Clayton. She would love for you to call her and so she could ask you some questions. Here's her number. And this is the best part, man, because like you said, you went through it, you learned the hard way. Mm-hmm. I already went through all that. I already know. So I hit her with this. I go, do you only want to hang out with me to ask business questions or to actually like hang out? And she's like, well, I just miss intellectual conversation so much because I'm surrounded by trust fund babies and they don't know, they like to party. And I go, okay, I'll agree to meet up with you, but you can't ask me one single dropshipping or marketing question. oh, what are we supposed to talk about? Rainbows and sunshine? And I go, if you think my intellect is limited to drop shipping, then we should not meet at all. And then I just blocked her. It's like, so those are the types of people that I'm getting in my inbox.
Protect your energy.
Friends from years. So I'm sure you've gone through many similar things.
Yeah.
Especially
honestly,
being your age too.
Yeah, being a lot younger, it is a little bit, you know, kind of annoying, but you know, it is what it is. And honestly, like if I'm being real with you, like moving back home, like if I'm keeping it a buck with you, like
keep it 100.
I don't hang out with a single person that I went to school with. And this is a good and a bad thing. Good because I'm protecting my energy. I'm not, you know, wasting my time on, you know, people that don't have the same vision as me and the same goal as me. That's why I loved being in LA, because I was constantly around like you guys and people that were just in the bag, like always trying to, you know, reach the next level. But in Chicago, I'm a lot more alone, and I spend more time like in my office just like working. And like I do have a couple like really good business friends. Shout out to Hamas and Kyle. But yeah, like they're probably like my only business / like real life friends that I have there that I'm able to vibe with. And you know, I don't care about the quantity of people. It really is the quality. And even when I was in school, to be fair, a lot of people did want to be friends with me, and they saw what I was doing like after I started to make a little bit of money. But my mindset was just like so closed off from these people, just because I knew like I didn't really have a future of being friends with them. So I literally just like cut pretty much everyone off, and my friend group was literally like 3 people while in high school. And like I could have been popular, I could have been getting all the bitches, I could have been doing all of that, but I decided not to. And do I regret it? Maybe a little bit, because I missed out on kind of a fun experience. And like I've always been like super tense and super focused like business wise, and that's a good thing if you want to make money, if you want to do that. But what I found now, especially living in LA, you have to enjoy yourself. You have to enjoy, you know, your blessings and the stuff that you've worked towards, and just vibe. You know, life is not all about being tense and, you know, working on your computer and answering Slack and talking on WeChat to your suppliers and you want on FaceTimes. It's not all about that. Yeah. I learned that the hard way now.
Yeah. I think it's like weird because we're just unable to live like a normal life.
Yeah. It's not possible.
It's very strange. So back to the drop shipping.
Back to the drop shipping.
So your second product
goes
well. You ran it up.
120K in sales. And you know what's really funny about this? Fucking hilarious. I'm running it up, and Mikey sends me the ad on my Instagram. Like Mikey and I would talk like sometimes because we had a mutual friend, and you know, he just DMs me out of nowhere. He's like, hey, I know you own this store. Like I saw your ads. And he sends me the ad, and he just like talks about it and stuff. And like, it was super weird to start off. Like,
sounds like Mikey.
Yeah. Mikey and I did not get off on like the right foot, but we didn't get off on the wrong foot either. Like I knew what he was doing. Like he was doing great. He had like, you know, like $60,000 weekends and like crazy numbers. Like he was crushing it. And then I think he saw that product and he started to run it up too. And I know he did. And like, I don't have any issues with that whatsoever. But it was just super funny that like him and I connected over like my biggest, like not my biggest winning product, but like the product that allowed me to, you know, get a lot more experience with dropshipping.
Yeah.
It was just super weird how we connected like that.
So yeah, you didn't know like anything about branding or anything at the time, but that set the platform for your third product.
Set the platform for my third product. And after this, I was a Facebook ads goat. I was a creative goat. I knew how to make websites. I knew how to do all that stuff. So I had a partner with that store. I don't really want to talk too much about that, but we had that store running, got the product in. You know, at the time, I was kind of being mentored by George Blue. I don't know if you know who that is.
Oh yeah.
George is like, you got to have George on the podcast.
I'm down.
I think you should. He's a really interesting person.
Where's he live?
Chicago.
Fucking tell him drive down.
I will. I think he'll want to be on the podcast, but he was like kind of my only mentor besides Andrew. Andrew was kind of a mentor for me, but he was more of a friend, but George was more of a mentor. And I found out through George through Sebas actually, and I would watch. I skipped out on an entire thing. When I was watching like a bunch of dropshipping videos and like doing all this stuff, Sebas was one of the people that like I loved watching.
Which video was it?
It was this challenge, like zero to 20K challenge. Yeah,
his biggest videos.
His biggest videos. Like I would watch him. I'm like, dude, this guy has swag. He runs up the bag. he knows what he's talking about. I'm like, dude, like I want to be friends with him. So I slide into his DMs. I'm like, yo, like if there's anything I can do for you, edit videos, do whatever, I just want to connect with you. And he was like, yeah, I actually want to get a video edited.
Wow.
So he sends me the video. I try to edit it, but my computer is like crashing. It's not like exporting the file, and I failed him. And I was like, dude, honestly, here's the pack, download it, and then just like put it in between. Like we kind of built our relationship off that. And then, you know, as I started to progress with dropshipping, make more money, like we started to talk on more of a business level, and then we just grew as friends, like from that point.
Oh, I never knew that.
Yeah, Sebas is probably like my second oldest dropshipping friend.
Wow.
Yeah.
And third oldest, Mikey?
No, I wouldn't really consider Mikey a friend back then. Mikey really became a friend, honestly, like last May.
Okay, I thought you were about to say, I wouldn't really consider Mikey a friend. And then you're about to go for the next hour about how Mikey screwed you over this way. That'd be crazy.
No, all love to Mikey,
Just
man.
a huge bomb dropped on the podcast I had no clue about.
No, Mikey's the boy. But I got connected to George through Sebas, because like Sebas made a video with George because he did like 9 million in like a year or something like that. Crazy retarded numbers. I slide into George's DMs on the same like value proposition shit. I'm like, can I do anything for you? And at the time, like there weren't that many people that were young and doing it, and they wanted to get connected with you, and they have some sort of value to offer you. Like now it's a lot harder for people to slide into my DMs and provide me value, just because I already have everything that I need. But the stage was a lot different like last year, and this is last February. So I'm talking to George, and then George invites me out to lunch at Fogo de Chao, this Brazilian steakhouse.
Sounds good.
I got addicted to it, dude. I would be going there like every weekend.
Was it the Brazilian steakhouse where you order it, or it's like all you can eat?
They come through, there'd be slicing.
Yeah, that's the best.
It, and then the cheese balls, bro.
Yeah. Oh, is that where you started liking those cheese balls?
Yes.
Yeah, I saw those at Whole Foods the other day.
Yes,
like, yeah, I remember seeing packs of these in the freezer all the time.
Yeah, I had them stacked, dude. I'd be making them at home. I had them last night, actually. Classic. But yeah, I got connected to George. He showed me like the software and stuff that he was working on. Like I don't know why he welcomed me with such open arms, but I think he just saw a lot of potential with me. And like before this, my third dropshipping store, this wasn't the partner one. This is just like one that I was doing on my own. It ran up big time. Like the first week that I had it live was Black Friday of 2018. I did like $100,000 in sales that weekend alone, with about $30,000 ad spend. So that kind of caught his attention, because I would be posting
Black Friday
story.
2018. Gotcha.
Yeah. So that caught his attention, and like he kind of, you know, he saw what I was doing. He saw that I was young from Chicago. He wanted to connect with me. So we go out, he teaches me a little bit about the back end of his stuff and like how things are done. And then he gives me some of his product, and like I'm analyzing the branding of it and all this stuff. I'm like, wow, I want to do something just like this. So I take the product that I was running before, I apply the same sort of branded strategies over the course of about 2.5 months. And then I get the product private labeled. I start to do like very beautiful 3D rendered ads. This is something that's like pretty big with Sweetdreams now. It's like a lot of very beautiful, unique, creative content in an already saturated niche. Like there's hundreds and maybe thousands of people selling this product already, but how can I be different? And after seeing the branding stuff and after seeing like how that stuff is done, I'm like, okay, I want to do this now. So this was a very pivotal moment in my life, because this is the moment I went from drop shipping to private labeling, and that switch alone just like that made me who I am right now.
Yeah, that's when you go from short term to long term.
Yeah, or I mean, it's still kind of short term because the product was just not able to be like coined as my own, but yeah, like still made a decent amount of money with it.
I guess in terms of vision, when you have a private label, the vision can go way further than just a regular drop shipping store.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's what you said about the mentor thing is really good, and I can understand why he would though, because a lot of these people, I'm sure you get it all the time. Hey, bro, can you be my mentor? Hey, can you be my mentor? I actually have this book right here. By the way, this is the rarest book I own. Dude, there's only one on Amazon right now for $90. But I asked my mentor the most impactful book he's ever read. It's this one right here. And look, this is why, because I always wondered why is my mentor fucking, mentoring me? And then he gave me this book, dude. That'll answer your question right there. Look at that. In the book it goes, try first, show me you care enough to try, and then I will help you. All these people, they want mentorship. They haven't tried. Obviously, at that point, you had like 3-4 stores. You're 17. Yeah. When someone like Mr. Blue sees someone like you, he's like, I want to help this kid because this kid really wants to help himself.
Yeah.
And that's as simple as it comes down to mentors.
And real mentors will not charge you money to mentor.
Sebastian said it the best, and this is the reason I haven't gotten into mentorship either. He goes, the easier it is to get mentored by someone, the less you should want it.
Exactly.
And I think he was referencing a certain person who got exposed for all that.
Yeah.
I think that was the topic.
Yeah.
So is what, I guess for me and you, is this what you're working on right now, the dropshipping, well, not even the dropshipping, the e-commerce store that you had when we were living in LA?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
No. Oh,
so this is different.
Before that.
So this eventually died off.
This died off last June
2019.
June 2019.
And did you launch that one before that or during that?
The one I had when I was in LA, I launched that literally like a year ago around this time.
A year ago around this time. Okay, so it was about a month after that product died, a couple months. 2 to 3 months. Like I spent the entire summer just doing nothing besides learning, more time with George. At this point, like I had already absorbed pretty much all the stuff that he could teach me. Wait, so is George in dropshipping or is he just in business in general?
He was doing e-com and branding. Like he had a store called Lux Mobile. It was like the
my God, case. What?
Yeah.
No wonder he did $9 million in a year.
Yeah. Those ads were everywhere.
Yeah.
But he did that and he kind of quit e-com and he hopped into the software space. And his first software just kind of failed because he spread himself too large, had too many team members, and just kind of flopped it.
Yeah.
I remember like he had an office and like he fired all his employees one day, and like literally the office was literally just to me and my boys. Like that was it. Like we'd be pulling up every day, like late nights in the office. I still remember those nights, like whipping through downtown, just going fast as shit, pulling up to the office.
Oh, that doesn't sound like you. That doesn't sound like you at all.
It doesn't sound like me. It is me. You know it. Yeah, so it was a very good time that summer. Like honestly, I had a lot of fun that summer because I moved out. I lived on my own because I was living with my parents the entire time.
Wait, are you 16 or 17 at the time?
At this time, I'm 18. I turned 18.
You're 18 at the time?
Yeah, I'm 18. I was 18 last summer.
Wait, so when we were living together,
I was 18. I just turned 19. Like 3 months ago.
Wow, Jesus, it's crazy how 2019 was literally, dude. It's like what happened in 2020. It's like we went through a time warp, and we're in August.
It honestly does not feel real.
You said we haven't seen each other in almost 6 months.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
That's the amount of time we were living together in LA.
Yeah, not even. We only lived together four and a half.
Yeah, because we cut the time short a little bit, but that's crazy.
Wow.
Like that time in LA felt like a good amount of time, but looking back at it,
I know, right? It's crazy. Like That's why I was saying when I was seeing Jordan snaps, it like sends me right back to pulling up, sometimes scraping the bottom of my car on the stupid thing.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And then trying to close the garage door 1 out of 3 times it would. And
then you have to manually shut it down.
And then it's like, well, you can't go through Mikey's room right next in the garage door, so you gotta open the slide door, go around the balcony. That door's locked. Got to call Mikey.
Oh my God, what a flawed floor plan.
Oh man, yeah. I guess when people see the house, they're like, "Damn, that's a sick house," but the design of it is not good.
I would not want to live there for more than 6 months, to be honest.
No,
if I would destroy that place and get it rebuilt.
I remember specifically thinking, it's like, imagine raising a family in this house.
Oh my God, chaos,
and no privacy.
None,
unless you're in that bottom room where I was. Yeah, those are some good times.
Oh, yeah.
So, okay, so I guess that this kind of leads into this because...
This leads into LA.
Yeah, you build this crazy store, millions in revenue.
Yeah.
And you're just crushing it right now.
Crushing it, bro.
Influencer marketing out the ass.
Yeah.
Telling Mark Zuckerberg, suck your dick. Yep. You know, you're showing him who's boss with the ROAS.
Oh, yeah.
And then you decided to basically, am I missing anything? Is it just basically you running up this brand?
Running up this brand starts off very slowly. All of August, like I was in the trenches, just working, shooting content, just really struggling. Like kind of, I want to talk a little bit about kind of how I feel right now later on, but it really feels pretty much the same as last year when I was first building it up, because like I was struggling to get traction. It was like I had loose tires that, you know, they ran like crazy, but now they're just like loosened up, and I just had to get the tire switch. But, you know, it just happened over the course of August through September. Ran up these Facebook ads, you know, Facebook was doing okay, and then I got shut down by Facebook. And then I just reached out to different avenues of marketing, influencer marketing. And one day I just kind of struck it very hard that day. And
influencer marketing?
Influencer marketing. And I don't want to talk too much about it just because, like, you know, I've been advised to keep it on the low. But, you know, that day that certain thing happened, it completely changed the course of my life, because I was not going to move to LA when I thought I would. Like,
wait, when did this thing happen?
last September. Yeah, dude.
Dude, that was 2 months before we were in the house.
I know. So it happens. I'm in Cancun at the time, just like literally on vacation, not prepared at all for this moment, even though, you know, I just kind of had a gut feeling. And before I went to Cancun, I went to LA, and I was with Luca. And I was at his office. I showed him the product. I showed him the site. He was like, dude, you're going to crush and make millions with this. And I was like, dude, honestly, like, I don't think so. Like, I just had a little bit of doubt in myself. And he was like, dude, you've got yourself gold on your hands. Like, I hope you know that. He tries it out. He's like, dude, these are great product. Not even a week later, I'm out of LA. Like, I just went to LA for fun, just because I wanted to, you know, catch a vibe. Luca invited me to go there because I was going to be doing Facebook ads for Jake Paul's.
How'd you like connect with him?
I followed Luca on Instagram probably like 2 years ago, because I saw Andrew followed him too, and like Andrew told me about him. I followed him. Luca never followed me back until like recently. Not recently, but like, you know, prior to me meeting up with him. Followed me back. We started talking, and he was like, yeah, dude, come through. Like, I'd love to have you a part of the team and like see what we can do. And like, I really just wanted to be around him and be able to provide him some sort of value, even though like I had already ran it up for myself. I just really wanted to network more with people like him. So I go to LA, show him that I'm about it, pull up to the office, get a little bit of work done, launch some ads. But the ads part of it just did not go that well. And I'm like, dude, like, honestly, like, I don't even want to do this. I just wanted to, you know, link up with you and like, you know, see what you're about and shit. And then we grew our friendship from there. And not even a week later, I go to Mexico, and then my life literally just fucking, and literally like Drake, I just flipped the switch. Like, that's exactly how it happened. It's like an overnight type of success, but it was not, obviously it wasn't overnight. To some people it might look like it, but there's 2.5 years worth of work that goes into that.
Right. So I'm glad you covered that, because a lot of people outside looking in would just use that and be like, oh, okay, he got lucky. He got lucky.
Everyone said, oh, you're so lucky. No, bitch, I'm not lucky. I put in 2.5 years worth of my time, thousands of dollars invested. I just made a couple right moves, and then it ended up clicking.
Ultimately, you put in the work, and most importantly, the risks.
Oh, yeah.
People really underestimate the risk involved in what we're doing, you know. Like, I dropped out of college. I did everything, did all this, did the buster thing, worked tons hard, bought the only course I ever bought was Ty Lopez's social media marketing course.
Which ended up being a very good thing for you.
Exactly, because it didn't teach me social media marketing. Yeah. I'll say it was very shitty on the actual marketing side. It more taught how to sell your agency, but it didn't really teach you how to run it. That was the only unfortunate thing. But after all that, you know, I tried drop shipping, and then one day I think of the branding of one product drop shipping, do all this, I scale it, I'm in LA, drive an Uber, I drive back, and then all of a sudden I don't have to work for anybody. Oh, you're so lucky. You don't have to work for anybody.
It's so much luck, dude. Scott, we're so lucky.
Yeah. Just forget about all that shit. But I know what you mean.
But yeah, speaking a little bit on school too, like I kind of skipped out on my school experience. So I hated school, basically like cheated on every single one of my tests to like, you know, my finals and all that stuff. And like, shout out to the homies that let me cheat on them. Like I was just had my Apple Watch. I would be taking pictures of tests, like writing down answers and like literally having it on my watch and like just like sneaking in the tests and stuff. And like I passed all my classes, basically like borderline failed it, but they allowed me to go. And my counselor let me graduate a year early. So this is a very important part of life too, because like I just did not want to go to school. Like I told my parents, I'm like, yeah, I hate this shit. Like I can't be doing school at all. And they didn't believe in me at first, but you know, over 2 to 3 months worth of convincing and like just showing them that like I can make money and I can sustain my own life, they were able to be convinced, and like my mom gave approval to my counselor to let me graduate early, and I just took an extra class or whatever, and I was able to graduate early. Didn't even go to my graduation. I didn't even collect my diploma.
Fuck them.
Fuck them. Fuck the system. But yeah, I just wanted to get that out of the way. I'm not a dropout. Like, people are going to be like, oh, did you drop out of college? Did you drop out of high school? No, I didn't drop out. But it's a lot easier to say like, oh yeah, I dropped out. But
yeah,
you know, I'm not going to explain to them the story of graduating early, taking extra classes, all that.
Just keep it simple. Did Mikey drop out?
No, Mikey. Should I expose Mikey right now?
Yeah.
I'm going to expose Mikey. Mikey, you are not a dropout. You graduated school. I know you did. I know this for a fact. You graduated high school, you got your diploma. Your dad made you do it. I know for a fact your mom and dad would not let you drop out.
Yeah. I couldn't remember what he said on the podcast, but I thought he said he dropped out.
Nah, he didn't drop out. It's a lot easier to say you dropped out than to explain the entire backstory.
Did he get a GED?
I think he might have. I know he has
Okay.
he has his high school certification at least, but fuck that. Like,
I consider GED dropout.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, but who knows? Who knows?
We barely. I barely even went to classes. Like, I would literally go for like one period of the day and just leave, like with a doctor's note, just dip.
Yeah, man. When I went to college, 2.0 GPA, like just not concerned at all about what I'm doing.
Scholar.
And I'll tell you this is the best thing. And I knew when this happened, I'm gonna think about this moment a lot in my future. I have a channel called College Campus Videos. You can look it up.
I've seen.
Oh, you've seen it? Okay.
I've seen a couple of videos.
So my whole big ideology was what I didn't know yet. What Nelk did is exactly what I was trying to do. And I remember I got that first video out and it got like 3,000 views over the weekend from just people in Missouri. I'm like, this is crazy. Wow. Like, people were recognizing me all the time because I busted my chin.
Yeah.
And I remember I was seeing this girl at the time. And I remember I'm like, this is crazy because this is like actually what I want to do with my life. I love YouTube. I've been doing this. And, you know, if this keeps going well, maybe I won't even have to graduate. Maybe I can just do go college to college, exactly like the Nelk Boys did. Yeah. And she goes, well, Scott, you can't make a living off of YouTube. Like, you still have to graduate. And this is like right before people really started making a living off of YouTube. So it's so ironic to me to think back on that. It's like, I kind of do make a living off of YouTube now, even though I got like probably nine revenue streams, but YouTube is like the central.
Oh yeah, YouTube is. I love YouTube.
Yeah, and people doubted it.
I honestly didn't know that like your vision was to be a YouTuber before, and like I see your videos now, and like you're literally like a perfect natural in front of the camera, and I must commend you for that.
I appreciate it.
Like I've seen one time like I was filming a video on the deck, and like you were also filming a video. I think it was your stock video. You were doing like the intro or something, and I was like just observing. I was like, damn. He's such a natural on camera.
Oh, I remember that.
Great.
Yeah, you guys were right behind me.
Yeah.
Yeah, because my first video on YouTube, I just looked it up 13 years ago.
Wow. I've been on
12.
I've been on YouTube the same amount of time.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've been on YouTube as an 8-year-old.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Like Mikey.
Yeah. Oh, bro, literally. It's so funny that, you know, kind of like all of us have been on YouTube for this long, but like I'd post like tech reviews, like iOS app reviews, unboxing videos. I was like a really short, chubby, cute kid, and like I just had like a squealy little voice. Like my parents would be talking in the background and shit. And I had a video go viral out of nowhere. It was me unboxing a toy set of Delta and Southwest airplanes.
Wait, what?
Yeah, it was like a little die-cast, like miniature model.
Damn.
I was just obsessed with airplanes.
You could have been like that one kid who's making like 20
Ryan's toy reviews.
Yeah, you could have. Faz's Toys Review. Another life.
Another life, the e-com aspect.
Yeah.
Growing up. But yeah, like I didn't really stay consistent with YouTube. I just kind of stopped.
That's the name of the game with YouTube. Consistency and content. That's it. And most people fail on the consistency.
Last month I posted like 4 videos. It was my most consistent month that I've had so far, and I made the most I made more money last month on YouTube than I did in my entire YouTube career.
Oh, dude, it's crazy. Like with the niche we're in terms of YouTube,
it pays.
I don't even think about it. And just on YouTube, I'm making like more than like the average. I would say the average high school graduate, not college graduate, but based on the numbers I saw.
Yeah.
I don't even think about like that. Just comes in through Google AdSense. That's crazy.
And you're just doing these videos out of your love for doing them. You know, like it's a business for you now in a sense, but it's still like something that you love. So we don't feel like it's work.
No. And I hope it's one day kind of like Russ's TuneCore. Did you see his post about that?
I did. I watched his like I don't know if it was like a podcast or like some sort of an interview that he did, but crazy.
Man, I remember in his song, he's like, last June I was broke. This June I made 100.
Yeah.
And then in the stats on TuneCore, you can see last June he was making like $500 a month.
Yeah.
That month in June he made $500,000.
Yeah.
And I remember that month in June too, because that's right when I discovered him. Yeah. And that was the first time I went to California and stayed there for 3 months. The first song I heard was What They Want in LA.
Wow.
And that's when we were living there. So that always sends me back to those times. What did it feel like to hit your first million?
Man, seeing that M on the Shopify dash, I can't even tell you. Like it was great.
Was it right after the event happened?
No, it was like a month later. I was in LA still. I was trapping out the W in Beverly Hills, just living bougie, living my life, making money, just having.
Were you with
fun.
Andrew at the time?
No.
Okay, what was that picture of you in the Lambo from then? No, I'm talking about the photo of you and Andrew in a blue Lamborghini.
The photo of me and
a Rolls
Andrew.
Royce. Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's in Chicago. That was in Chicago in March.
Are you sure that was in Chicago?
Yeah, 100%.
100%.
Me and Andrew never linked up in LA.
That's crazy. That hotel looks exactly like that Beverly Hills hotel, the Montage.
I know. That was the Waldorf Astoria in Chicago.
Was it built by like the same person, you think?
Could have been.
It's
gorgeous.
I thought forever.
Nah.
Andrew's a low-key legend.
Yeah.
You know, there's certain legends. I talked about this with Luca. Luca's a low-key legends. People who are just, you kind of only really know them and the caliber that they bring to this, like, this level, this environment, but they don't go out and portray it on, like, YouTube or anything. They're like...
Yeah, well, to an extent, Andrew kind of was trying to go for the guru thing by running ads to his profile, like showing off his Shopify stats, like posting on his story and stuff, but... Now to an extent, like you just grow out of it. You know? Like I will never post a Shopify screenshot again unless it's like people on my site or anything like that. So like you will never know how much money I'm making now. But like last year and like, you know, the year before that, I always wanted to flex it. But, you know, to an extent, we needed to do that to gain the attention and get the people. But
it's a balance. And that's my tough thing. I sometimes have like with like the balance. It's because with so many people asking, like even anytime I even post a regular screenshot, what's the profit margin? What's the profit? It's like, it's so weird. It's like if every day you go into work and outside there's just like a protest of people saying, how much money did you make today? Wait, is that before taxes or is that after taxes? You know? And
what ads are you running?
Yeah, exactly. It's like so many people are into your personal finance life. That's why I stopped posting a while ago. It's just like every time it causes an issue. I'll post like testimonials, but nowadays I'm focused more on just what fulfills me rather than what makes me money. At the beginning, you kind of be focused on the money, but when you find something that fulfills you and makes money, the golden duel.
You hit that G spot.
Hit the G spot real good and left my ring in it. So the event happens, you hit $1 million, and you're like, I'll go to LA. Yes. This is around the time.
Me and Mikey are planning this out on FaceTime. I'm like, bro, like, I really want to move here. I see his stories. He's like living bougie as fuck. I'm like, I want that. Yeah. So we're talking. We're like, all right, find some houses, find on Zillow. Our house. Can we say the address?
Fuck yeah, fuck them.
Fuck them, 1733 gang.
Yeah.
He shows me 1733, and that's like the first house that I'm like, all right, this is fucking it. The pool is dope, the rooms are dope, like everything about it just looked picture perfect. But we had the house that Pop Smoke, rest in peace, Pop Smoke, that I don't know, the Beverly Hills.
That's what I was pushing for, Hercules Drive.
Hercules. Like he told me
down to those two.
Yeah, he told me that like him, his friend, and like you were probably gonna live together at Hercules, but I'm glad that fell through, obviously. But
yeah.
Chino?
No, I was gonna say Jesus, but
Jesus. Yeah, it was Chino, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. So we decided on 1733. I'm like, yeah, this is it. And then I don't even know how we all kind of assembled, but like I told Sebas, I'm like, bro, let's do this. Like we've been talking about this forever. We're like, Cali is the mission. Like we've been wanting to do this. So we plan it out. We do the group chat, and then I go out to LA like 2 months before we actually move in, just because like I don't want to be in Chicago while I'm making all this money, and like, you know, I just want to live like a fun life. But looking back at it, I think that was a mistake, because in those 2 months, certain things went down that, you know, if I didn't, you know, live there, it wouldn't have really happened, and I would have been able to avoid those mistakes, because it was very expensive living there.
Oh yeah.
Living in the W, like paying $300-$400 a night. Like I just didn't give a fuck. I was spending so much money on food. I was renting cars. I was, living in nice hotels, paying for Uber XLs and Uber Blacks. But like, it was a fun experience. I regret it, and I don't regret it. I regret it because it was a waste of money, but I don't regret it because I just did it.
Well, so you were living in LA 2 months before we moved in?
Yeah, I was in LA all of September and all of October.
Gotcha. So when I came September 28th.
Yeah, I was already there.
That was my first time ever with a first class flight, by the way.
Oh, I remember that.
It's hard to go back after that, but what's even crazier about that is on this first class flight, there's Wi-Fi, and I recently bought this diamond chain from this guy who said it was SI quality and 10 pointers, and then I found out from taking it to a diamond specialist, it was like 6 to 8 pointers, and it was like I1 to I3s. So I open up, I messaged him like, hey, I'd like to return this. I got a good price. Even the jeweler said, if you actually paid, I paid $5,500 for it. He's like, if you actually paid that because he thought I was lying, he's like, you still got a great deal because it praised at like $14,000. Wow, but still, it's like a deal's a deal, and I don't like being lied to. So I'm like, hey, I'd like to return this. I took it to 2 different people. They said the exact same thing, and then he ghosted me. So I sent him another message, and I'm like, well, listen, because when I paid on PayPal, it's very specific on the details of this chain.
Yeah.
And so I knew I could use that to my advantage, and obviously he wasn't too well versed in this.
Right.
So I opened up a PayPal case. I told him like, hey, I talked to the representative. They expedited it because of the situation. Just send it back, upload the tracking, you'll have your money back. He thought he could just ignore this and it would go away. Dude, 2 weeks later, I'm sitting at First Watch. I look at my phone. It's like, congratulations, because the guy hasn't responded. You automatically win the case. So I just got like $6,000 put in my account. And I got the chain still. I'm going to sell this fucker and get a huge profit from this. But on this flight to LA, guys, this guy starts messaging me. Not only he messaged me, but he sent his shooter after me too.
Oh, yeah.
And then they started basically saying they were going to come and kill me if I didn't return it without saying it.
Yeah.
And so when I got there, I'm like, dude, I'm a little freaked out about this. This guy seems like he really means business. And then Sebas was there. Yeah. And I was like, he's like, where's he from? And I'm like, Miami.
We were all together.
Yeah.
We went to a sushi restaurant.
Yeah. We were sitting there. I'm like, look at this guy. And Sebas, because he's from Miami, sees him and he goes, bro, I know that guy. I've talked with him. That dude's like the sketchiest dude in Miami. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Because like the guy, his profile picture, by the way, guys, was a huge stack of money and an Uzi. Like this is the shooter's like profile picture. Man. And so that was my intro into signing this house. Amazing. But we went and saw that house, rainy ass day.
Oh man, gloomy as fuck.
I'll never forget us all huddling under the little like deck because the guy was hella late. Yeah. And then we showed it. We fucked those floors up because they were all wet and stuff. The carpet. Yep. But yeah, that was a crazy day because it was just so gloomy, raining, but it was perfect. Yeah, it was perfect. And right before that, me, Sebas, and Dressy was there too. We went to this like Beverly Hills diner, like restaurant, and we saw Lana Del Rey there too. Oh, that's right. So that was pretty cool. I remember that. Pulled up to 1733. Yeah, it's kind of like love at first sight with that view, but obviously I don't think we thought it fully through. Mm-mm. I mean, I know I didn't. I was just starstruck. I'm like, dude, this is fucking gorgeous. But I didn't think about how it would be living there and actually walking through the house and doing that, because I was just so set on that first option. And like, I guess we kind of all were. Mikey was so about it, like he really wanted to do it, and I guess we just kind of rushed it a little bit. Well, one of the biggest regrets, especially that people listening to this can learn this, always test the Wi-Fi before you sign a house. Oh my God. 3 weeks with no Wi-Fi to start, and then after that, 5 megabytes a second for the rest of the time up there. Dude, that Wi-Fi was terrible for a house full of Wi-Fi money boys. Yeah, it's like, if it doesn't make sense. It's weird because if the Wi-Fi would have been better, I probably would have stayed through the whole lease. But when the corona started hitting, and I knew they're about to get quarantined at least. Yeah. It's like, dude, it's going to be hard to can't go anywhere to upload or do anything. Yeah, it's going to be hard. But yeah, we signed the house, and we moved in a couple months later. We made one mistake. It was signing that for 6 months. We should have done it for 3 months, seen how we liked it, and then maybe extended it. Oh, yeah. And the funny thing is, we had someone who didn't even live there negotiate the price. Remember that, Brian? Dude. Yeah. Well, I guess he technically lived
yeah,
there for a bit.
Yeah, he lived with us for a little bit. But,
Yeah.
you know, with our realtor and the house owner and like all these people, which is kind of a very weird,
all
odd
in the
experience.
bedroom.
Yeah.
Like that's where we were discussing the price.
Sitting on the bed.
Yeah. That was, I'll never forget pulling up though. Cause I think you pulled up we all pulled up the same day,
time.
right? November 1st.
I mean, Mikey and I were there. Before that, I was in Hawaii for like 12 days.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Cause I don't think you were there when I first got there.
No, I wasn't.
You came shortly after.
I came after, and then it was me, Dressy. So, like, I picked up Sebas from the airport that day, and then we went to Tokaya.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and then we pulled up. I remember we were playing, like, this one Tory Lane song. It was Dimelo. I don't know if you've heard that song. But, like, that song is always, like, that's always very reminiscent of LA for me, just because, like, it was always that memory. But pulled up, and it was just go time from there.
Tory Lanez, rest in peace.
He's still alive.
He's done for.
He's done for.
He's done for. He's never coming back from this. It's like crazy because someone
did they like is it proven that he shot her in the foot?
It's like it's this whole culture of they don't want to tell anyone for snitch culture, but
snitch culture.
Yeah, they don't want any snitch culture, but it's like it's so obvious.
Yeah, it's evident.
She unfollowed him or whatever, and she kept talking.
But how is he not going to go to fucking jail for shooting someone in the foot?
So the theory, he hasn't posted anything since that night. The theory is he's getting deported because he's Canadian.
Maybe.
He's going to go live with Splash Boy.
Yeah, he's going to live with Splash Man in his one bedroom.
Splash Man.
They're going to share a bed.
Yeah.
Tori's going to be cooking up in the studio.
Nav's going to stop by.
Nav. But yeah, that first day was very interesting.
The first couple of weeks were too, especially just not having Wi-Fi in such a crazy house and just dealing with a lot. Most people, no one would really know this, but we didn't have our own Wi-Fi. We shared it with the house next to us, and that guy was like out of town, so they couldn't work on the Wi-Fi until he came home.
Right.
It was all janked up, but at least we had Sean Kingston below us.
Sean Kingston, the GOAT.
It's weird to think about, like we were talking about those months, because it's like when I try to think of like stories.
Yeah.
It's hard to think of stories because it would seem like it just flashed by so quick.
We had a lot of good times there.
Like the guy trying to break in the first day.
I remember I called the cops. All the helicopters showed up. 12 cops showed up.
So many cops showed up.
Bro, we were scared shitless, bro. Like, I remember, like, whenever you texted Sebas or you texted me.
No, he called me.
Or he called you, and you're like, yo, like, I think someone's breaking in. And then you just go ghost. You don't answer the phone. You don't reply to text. I'm here speeding through the hills.
I was on the phone with the cops,
I was speeding through the hills talking to the cops. I'm like, dude, I hope Scott is okay. Like, first night, this is terrible. And me, Mikey, Dressy, Sebas were just all fucking scared shitless. But, you know, thankfully nothing happened. Wasn't too much of a...
And the crazy thing is I was hiding behind the pool with Camilla, and then I heard the guy walk out onto the deck, and he's talking on the phone, and I was like, holy shit, he's here. Yeah, I'm talking to the cops. He's here. He's fucking here right now. Please send quick. And then I look up, it's just Sebas and Dressy on the phone. Like, they're talking on the phone. Or maybe it was you. Maybe you and Sebas.
No, it was Sebas and Dressy.
Gotcha.
I remember they were like, yeah, we're going to go run into the house. And then Mikey and I were just like up the hill a little bit.
Yeah.
Ready to scoop them up if there was a shooter in the house.
Oh, man. It's like it's like blurry for me.
Yeah.
The whole thing's blurry because another thing we didn't really take into account moving in to LA at the time is we'd have to... Most of the lease was through winter, and the sun sets at like 4:20 every single day.
Right.
And so it was cold.
Days were super short. It was pretty cold.
Yeah. But at least we got to experience LA. And
a lot of rain, too.
A lot of rain.
We got a lot of rain.
Most rain I've seen in a while. And some fucking intense rain. But at the end of the day, it was worth it.
Yeah.
Because we got to experience LA before Corona. Who knows how long this is going to last? Dude, it's a different world out there now.
Exactly. At least we got it out of our systems. We got that done. Like, now I'm sure like you're living a nice, calm, comfortable life here. Same thing with me in Chicago. But yeah, like I'm very thankful that we got to do it during that time and not like, you know, this year or something.
Where do you see yourself moving?
To be completely honest with you, my family wants to move to like Laguna Beach area and like nice, like out of LA pretty much. I love California. It's an amazing state. Fuck the taxes there, though.
Did you hear about the new taxes?
I did.
Man, I don't know anymore.
Fuckers. But obviously there's loopholes and stuff. But, you know, we won't get into any of that. But, yeah, I see myself living in, like, Calabasas, Hidden Hills, gated community, living, like, a very chill life in a very beautiful open house with, you know, crazy crazy pool. I don't care about views or anything. I just want like a nice, comfortable life in California, because there's so many positives about being there. And, I don't even care about the networking or anything, because honestly, like I barely networked with anyone out there, but really it's just the vibes of California that I just am super attracted to. I hate the cold in Chicago. Miami is always too humid and there's hurricanes, and it's just not like,
there's nothing's
like it. There's no Earth cafes either.
Exactly.
What am I going to do without Earth?
They need to get on their game. They should expand worldwide.
Oh yeah. They're global actually.
Yeah.
They're in Japan.
Well, you know what, did you hear about what's about to be global?
What?
So there's this company called Sweetdreams, and I was wondering if you knew anything about it, because I remember the day when you first started seriously like taking the idea under, because I remember that like you and Sebas were in your room and you were discussing it, and that's right when you were ordering the sign, Sweetdreams. It was like that. It took like a couple months or like a month or two to come in. Yeah. And so I want you to talk about Sweetdreams, because I'll never forget when you got that vinyl sign.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this brand right here, honestly, is my everything. It's my baby now. And I always knew that I wanted to be in the CBD niche, just because it's like blowing up super quickly. It's becoming legalized pretty much like in all states. Other countries are also expanding on it too. So I saw obviously a very big market there. And honestly, that's like the reason why I wanted to live in LA, was just because like West Coast is the coast for marijuana and for CBD and like all this stuff, and I thought I would be getting connected with the right people while being in LA. And I posted on my Instagram story August of 2019. I was like, yo, does anyone have any connects in the CBD space? Guess who replied? Mikey replied. Mikey replied. He got me connected with somebody, started talking to that somebody, and he helped me out a little bit, got me connected with people. But a lot of the times what I've experienced with a lot of people in LA is they just flake. Like they're not about it. They're cappers, big flakers.
Yeah, they want to seem like they play the part when they really can't.
Exactly. Just a bunch of con artists there. But anyways, I moved to LA in pursuit of doing CBD, and, I learn a lot. I'm with a lot of very intelligent people that know about the space, but maybe they're not in it directly. So, that was great. But while in the beginning days, I did not know anything. I did not know what I wanted to do. I didn't know about what I wanted the brand to be. But in October, like a month or two after, kind of living there, that's whenever I came up for the idea of Sweetdreams. And I was in Hawaii just trying to think of names. And obviously, the best ideas are born in Hawaii. Kanye West made one of his albums in Hawaii too.
That's right.
Just locking in and, catching those vibes. And I came up with a name. I don't remember the exact moment I came up with it, but I had it in my notes. I was like, Sweetdreams CBD, the CBD focused on sleep. And the sleep industry was just super cool to me, because I saw Casper with their branding and like these other companies that just killed it. Like the vibe was just there. I loved it. And I decided to kind of combine the two niches together and make something like this and make it very beautiful. Because what I had seen was, again, with dropshipping, like everyone makes the same thing and then they expect to be extremely successful, when in reality, yes, you can run up a little bit of money, but you're not going to be a real brand. You're not going to be someone that is a game changer. And all my life, like I've been trying to look for that one project that's going to set me apart from everyone else, that I can be public about and one day maybe even have an exit with. And more than just that, I'll talk about this a little bit later with the satisfaction part of doing this, because it's not like transactional satisfaction. It's like seeing people use it and actually being happy with it, So this brand right here is like a 9 to 10 months worth of work being done, connected with a great branding agency. I'm not going to say anything about that, but connected with a great branding agency, learned a lot about the process of building up like a real baller company, because there's only so much you can do on your own. So when you find someone else that, shares that vision and is able to connect you with people that are able to creatively output what's in your head, it's amazing. So we went through, like in October, I came up with the name Sweetdreams and kind of like the branding concept and what I wanted the actual like tincture to be like. I worked with Luke, actually, Luke, the photographer.
Yeah, designer, Luke. I thought you were saying Luca at first.
No. So I worked with Luke to begin with, and we drafted up some concept logos and boxes and stuff like that. I'll show you some pictures later, but it was really nothing close to what it is right now, but we kind of got the concept done back then. So we had that there. But again, I just stalled on it for literally like 5 months, 4 to 5 months. Just literally had the file, the AI file of the packaging and like all that stuff sitting in my computer just because I didn't know. I didn't know where to go. I was just so scared. I was like, how do I find a supplier? How am I going to do the marketing? How am I going to make the brand?
How do you keep it all legal?
Exactly. How do you keep it all legal? Because I mean, obviously, it's like it's operating in a gray area right now.
And healthy, because whenever thinking of in my head like of making brands, what freaks me out is like ingestible stuff because the regulations that you probably had to go through, especially with it being CBD on top of that.
Yeah.
But you made it happen.
I made it happen, and through a lot of fucking bullshit.
And you're only 19. Only 19. That's the craziest thing.
Worked on this while being an 18-year-old, turned 19, and then launched the brand.
Yeah. See, you're a prime candidate for a lot of hate from the older people, sour people.
Everybody in the CBD space is probably double or triple my age. I haven't found a single CEO of one of these companies that is in their 20s. Like even one of the most popular brands, like I know the CEO, he's like 34, 35 years old. So like age, I'm going to use my age to an advantage.
Big
and
time.
Like my knowledge in the space to an advantage. Like there's no e-com people that are launching like wellness and CBD and health brands. Sure, there are some people that are doing like great jobs with, certain sort of brands that they're doing. Like I know a couple people, but nobody is really doing something like this. And I'm very proud of that. And I'm very happy and, very happy that I can inspire people to show them that you can transition from drop shipping to creating a real purposeful brand. And honestly, you should be purpose driven, not revenue driven. Before I was 100% revenue driven. I didn't give a shit about the product. I was like, I'm collecting my bag at the end of the day and living my best life. But with this, the entire like situation has completely changed because I'm sitting on good cash. I don't care about money too much anymore. I really wanted to make a change in a space that I'm passionate about, which is the marijuana and the CBD field. And with Sweetdreams, I think I'm able to really do that now.
Yeah, this is such a sick design. Like, did you design this?
Yeah.
So sick.
We conceptualized this all in the Soho House in West Hollywood.
Actually.
Classic. Over some truffled Parmesan fries and some nice drinks and everything.
Well,
so
what's crazy about that is like people who haven't had CBD before and try this, they don't understand how far superior in taste this is than the other ones. Because I've had some real bad CBD where you can taste like it tastes like liquid crunched leaves. While yours is like it kind of tastes like warm tea.
Yeah, exactly.
Blueberry tea.
That's kind of what I went for in this. In the new one that I got you, the flavor is actually significantly improved, so it tastes less like an actual plant and more like kind of like a soft, like I don't even know how to explain it. You'll try it and you'll notice like an insane difference. And I also got you a little. All right, is it 500? Yeah, it's a 500. So same dosage, but like the product, you've tried it. It works.
Knocks you out. Big time.
It's a combination of like, USDA approved, like it's our field that we have where we grow the hemp is in Wisconsin. So it's just north of Chicago. Found a very good local supplier. Sick. Yeah. I actually haven't visited the farm yet, but we're going to do that soon. They just don't want to do it during Corona and all that stuff. It just, it puts other people at risk. But anyways, a lot of just Chicago based. We've got an FDA approved lab that we operate out of as well in Wisconsin. It's like, I know the process from going from the farm to the lab to getting bottled and doing all that stuff. And that's one thing that a lot of suppliers were so sketched about. They didn't want me to know where the plant was coming from, where it's being bottled, or where this stuff is being done. And I'm just like super sussed out. I got some really good samples before I met this supplier, but after I met this person, like I knew we were just going to click instantly. They made the formula perfect to how I wanted it, and it actually works and knocks you out.
Yeah, so I saw in your story, you said that there were, in the development of the everything about this, you said there were some major headaches that went down.
Oh my.
Which ones can you cover?
Major headaches.
What was the most major headache that you, or I guess roadblock that you hit?
Yeah, the biggest roadblock. Let me show you. Let me show you guys the biggest roadblock right now. So this right here, this cap.
Yeah.
Literally this 1 inch, maybe half an inch cap right here. This slowed down the production by 2.5 months.
Jeez.
And that's because no supplier was able to make it in the color that I wanted, just because like it's a nice iridescent finish, and whenever you shine a light at it, it looks really cool. It's meant to be like a very Instagrammable product. And developing this was insane, because rendering it and getting it conceptualized was, you know, very easy because it's just playing with colors. But actually working with a supplier that is able to mimic what we create in a render and create it in real life was the biggest challenge. Like, it was a pain in the ass. Not to mention the language barrier. They didn't understand what iridescent meant.
Yeah. Oh, so the bottle's developed in China?
In China. The bottle is made in China, but we bring it to the lab and we fully sterilize it as well. So there's no like germs or anything like that. But the cap alone took 2.5 months. And it was just like 8 different suppliers bailed on me. Like literally 8 suppliers bailed on me. So now the supplier that makes the cap also makes the bottle. So there's sick. Like, you know, no like mismatch between the quality of the product. And yeah, the bottle alone took longer than anything else combined. Yeah. That was the biggest headache. And not to mention the slow shipping times, the slow production times during coronavirus. Because I built this during the peak of Corona, like in March, in April, when like everything was like on lockdown. Like,
did you ever think like, oh, I'll put this on the back burner and see what happens?
Yeah, I did.
You didn't even listen to that.
I didn't listen to that. And while I was building this up, because I just wanted to generate a little bit more cash flow, I launched another drop shipping store and made like $250,000 in just like 2 months of doing that. Just like
like an ATM, man, pulling it out.
Exactly. Cash machine. That's what you can do when you've mastered it, kind of how we have.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how do you find this type of material? I've never seen it where the rainbow is like uniform down.
So that was also one big challenge, is just kind of, again, like we got it rendered, but getting it from rendered to an actual physical model is a whole different challenge in itself. So again, went through about 3 different suppliers to make this like carton box. And this, I guess, wasn't really that hard of a thing because they've done this sort of printing before. So I guess it's just like a different type of texture that they put on it, either like an iridescent or holographic material on there. So
that's funny. So it seems like you had more issues with the packaging than you did the CBD. I thought for sure it'd be the opposite with how it's kind of new and wow.
Nope. The packaging took longer than anything else.
It was worth it though. That's definitely the best packaging. I'm sure you hear that all the time.
Everything and anything that could have went wrong with this brand went wrong, even on the launch day of the company.
Oh yeah, your site crash. I mean, not your site, Shopify crashed.
I thought it was the site crashing, but literally 2 minutes before the site was going to go live, the entirety of Cloudflare just shut down out of nowhere. And I'm just here on live, like I documented it on my YouTube channel too. I was just talking, I got every single moment. I recorded all of it. I'm like, dude, like I need to be able to look back on this whenever, you know, one day I sell the brand for like 100 million. That's the goal that I have. And I just wanted to document it. And it was just so surreal seeing that it just shut down. The site would not load. I had everything planned out. I made sure that everything was perfect so that I don't have any issues at launch, and ended up getting fucked, and Shopify just shut down entirely.
And it's still sold out the first day. And it's
still sold out. Yeah. Not the first day. It was like more so the first week, but yeah, it was great. Amazing feedback, a lot of support from the boys, which I really appreciate more than anything. It's like, it's a completely different ballgame whenever you're working for months, investing thousands of dollars into something that you really believe in. You bring the product out, people try it, they're in love with it, and then it just gives you like a different level of satisfaction that no dollar amount can give you.
Yeah. Yeah. So have you released that video yet of you?
Yeah.
Really? Okay. Yeah, people should go check that out. I didn't know you released it. I'm gonna have to check that out for sure. So
I dropped like 2 or 3 videos regarding this.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So where do you see the future of it going? Like, do you like in terms of not only like growing the brand, but expanding the brand?
Product line? Yeah. So product line, I can say we're launching gummies in 2 months. Maybe a little bit sooner than that. And we're doing a CBD free version of it. So it's just going to be melatonin gummies to take on like Ollie and like a bunch of these other companies and make them like vegan and a lot more healthier for people to take. Because I know like a lot of these gummies have a lot of sugar and they make you very reliant on melatonin only. But the good thing about like mixing CBD and like other natural ingredients is that it reduces the reliance on using melatonin and stuff. So that's one thing that I've noticed and
That's
a lot
sick.
of people have with taking a CBD product. But gummies are next. Gonna do teas down the line, like nighttime drinks.
Are you going to bring in different flavors of this?
Yeah, different flavors
Hell
of this
yeah.
as well. We're working on those right now. Again, it's just going to be annoying getting the packaging and all that
Yeah.
stuff. But now we've got the basis for everything on lock. So new flavors for this, gummies, teas, lotions, and then we're also doing an app.
An app?
Yep, we're
Really?
doing an app. Yep.
Was it going to track your sleep?
There's going to be a sleep logging part on there. There's going to be meditation on there as well.
Nice.
Like guided meditation.
Yeah.
And then obviously a part where it takes you onto the website to buy it. So it's going to be like an entire like brand experience. I don't want it to just be like you buy the product, you take it and you're done. Like I want to build a whole ecosystem and a whole community around it.
That'd be awesome if you collab with Aura Ring. Can you imagine?
Wow.
You guys
that
could
would
run
crush.
that up.
That was crush. I know you tracked tracked your sleep before and after.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
I kept waking up because my apartment's a bit sunny. And then I tried Sweetdreams, slept for like 11 hours. And people were messaging me like, bro, I don't know if I should get Sweetdreams. Does it really make you sleep 11 hours each time? It's like, no, I was so behind on sleep for like 2 weeks that finally my body caught all the way up.
Yeah, and that's what it's meant to do. It's not meant to, like melatonin. Like a lot of people pop melatonin pills and just take it every single night because they become reliant on it. This is not that. Like you don't need to take it every night to go to sleep. Sure, you can take it every night. You're not going to really build a resistance to it because that's just how the endocannabinoid system in your brain works. It doesn't really build too much of a tolerance if you don't abuse it. If you're taking the right dose every night, you're going to be fine. But if you're overdosing it and taking more, obviously your body's naturally going to build a reliance to it. But
yeah, I was going to say, what would happen if someone just drank 500 milliliters of CBD?
30 milliliters. It's 500 milligrams.
Oh, milligrams, I meant, yeah.
So if they took this entire bottle, I think the amount of melatonin in it would poison you.
Yeah.
Like you'd actually have to call like poison control. But the actual CBD in it wouldn't do anything.
Right.
Like obviously you'd be very, very tired, but I do not recommend taking the entire bottle. Like that's not.
Yeah, like how Steve would do it, did like 4,000 milligrams of THC. I wonder what happens if you do like 4,000 milligrams of CBD.
Yeah.
Be interesting to see.
That's something that we have also in the works right now.
What?
A collab.
Oh, really?
I've got my product out to them and everything right now.
I'm excited to see that.
But again, like I had to think of it strategically because that's not really the market that I'm trying to get. It is a premium product. It is made for people that have trouble sleeping. So I'm going to do that down the line once, we have a lot more money to just fuck around with and just do these like bullshit campaigns where yes, they generate revenue, but it's not our target market. I think to start off, I do want to build like that core audience of people that, take marijuana products, that take CBD and, melatonin, like all this stuff, like really get that medical sort of customer base to begin with. But I'm really open to anyone. I just wouldn't want like random college teens that are fucking full senders.
Right.
I mean, nothing against them.
They're the ones who would drink the whole bottle.
Yes. That's how I'd end up running into legal issues, which I don't want to deal
100%.
with.
Do you ever see yourself getting into the THC side of things?
Oh, absolutely.
Really?
Oh, yes. Big zoot.
Big zoot.
Big zoot on the Sweetdreams pack.
Yeah, you should release like, how the bazooka, I tell you about the bazooka blunts. Yes. You should release big zoots.
One day soon, but you got to be 21 to do that.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. Now, would you see it separate from Sweetdreams?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it would be under the same branding, but obviously different selling points.
Yeah,
that would be more so like the dispensary version of it.
Yeah. Great Awake. Sweetdreams. Yeah, me and David were talking about that. It's like I don't think I'd ever want to own a dispensary, but I would want to own a weed brand.
Oh, yeah.
For sure.
Oh, yeah, dude.
It seems like people own dispensaries. It's kind of like I've seen a lot of sleazeballs owns dispensaries, and I think there's more honor in creating a brand from THC.
Exactly. And owning like a dispensary isn't necessarily the most profitable way of doing it either, because I'm sure like MedMen, like we've been there before, but they're not even profitable. They're in massive debt just because of how much they've spent on marketing, how big of a team they have, all the legal things that you have to pay for. Like
That's the big one. It costs
a lot of money to get a license to even grow or sell marijuana. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, I was watching oh, I forget. It's up north. They're a huge weed capital. They said that because the whole theory is big pharma is going to come, patent the good strains, control the market, and then start releasing or whatever. So when the recreationally legal stuff started happening in California, all of a sudden on all the growers, they raised the fee to I think $100,000 a month.
It's crazy.
Out of nowhere.
Crazy.
Knocked out like 70% of them. Only some survived. And I think we're going to see, because the CEO of Marlboro since 2012, he says he has a factory completely full of Marlboro weed pre-rolls ready to go.
Wow.
And he said he's just waiting for once recreation hits. He's not fucking around. He's already got like 1 billion joints ready to go. He's going to outperform everybody.
I don't know how good that weed will be sitting around for that long.
Exactly. I think he might have timed it poorly.
Yes. His weed's going to be stale as fuck.
He doesn't care. You know, Marlboro's Marlboro. I'm sure weed's not the only thing in there.
Oh, yeah. They definitely got a little bit of tobacco in there to increase the high.
Yeah.
But, you know, they're like these big companies are definitely going to take over, but it's there's still a lot of time in between now and
I hope not. I really hope not.
I think it's going to be like 3 to 4 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially with, you know, the entire like Corona stuff, like pretty much all of 2021, I think is just still going to be combating that and, you know, releasing the vaccine, getting people to take it. And
that's the hard part.
That's the hard part.
Dude, I've been laughing from the beginning of this theory of once we have a vaccine, let's open. Dude, they took a poll and I think 27% of people said they would take the vaccine. Dude, it doesn't matter if there's a vaccine, obviously. Like, there has to be a better solution.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
I feel like a lot of things went wrong with the way that we did our lockdown.
That whole topic is so weird because once it became politicized, now it's like, I don't even like talking about it too much because to even talk about it, people want to find out what side are you on when the whole time it should be, what do you believe in? You know, people, I don't know. It's so one dimensional when it comes to talking about that, especially like using that term. I might have to have my editor mute the term because YouTube is so sensitive about that.
Oh, they'll hear it and they'll demonetize it. And
the whole thing, maybe even take it off. Who knows?
Who knows? Can't even mention the C word.
Yeah. What other plans do you have? Like, okay, this is the question I was trying to think of.
Yes.
What are some industries or business practices, niches that you want to get into that you haven't gotten into? I see you've been trading a bit.
Yeah, trading a little bit. Made a lot of money and lost pretty much all of it.
So I was going to say, I didn't want to say this when you were talking about it, but biometrics or what was
Bioamerica?
Bioamerica.
Yeah.
It was like I kind of knew what was going to happen.
Yeah.
Because I've seen this story play out so many times, but I didn't want to
seen it. I've seen it happen too. But here's the thing with that stock: as soon as it gets that FDA approval, I think it's going to pop. Just
so you're still holding?
Yeah, I'm still holding. I have $15,000 in it, but I made I was up about $4,000 profit with it before like the big sell off came out.
Yeah.
I think they did like a reverse split of the stock or something like that. But either way, a lot of the people that I was told to buy the stock from, like they're the ones that kind of made it aware for me. There's a lot of good due diligence on it. I wouldn't promote or talk about a stock if I don't really believe in it, but they've actually got like a pretty good thing on their hands. It's just waiting for the FDA to fully approve it. But if that's not going to happen, like I'll fucking sell it off.
Right. And the thing with stocks is I learned this from my mentor recently. It's like the FEC.
Yeah.
If they like, I don't know how you phrased it.
Yeah.
But if you said you should buy this stock,
yes,
you can get fined heavily.
Big fucked.
Yeah. You can say, I am buying this stock.
I am buying it. You don't have to follow me. Like I made sure not to say to buy it, but like, you know, if you want to join me, go for it. I'm not telling you to do it. But I feel like a lot of these people on Twitter, on YouTube, on Instagram, and TikTok now too, they really just pump up these stocks by using those sort of like, you know, they're in the gray area of doing the promotion for it. Yeah. So I guess to an extent, yes, you can pump it up by getting a lot of people to buy it, but that wasn't my intentions because, you know, I want to help people make money. And it was literally right before Sweetdreams launched too. So like anyone that made at least $70 profit off of it can go and buy it.
Yeah, there you go.
So I strategically planned it in that way.
I like that. Because that same thing happened to me with Nat. Do you know about Nat?
Yeah.
That day I put in 30 grand.
No.
And in 5 minutes, I was up $3,500 in 5 minutes. And guess what?
What?
In those 5 minutes, that was the peak of the stock to this day, dude. So I think I ended up losing not too much. I think like 4,000 or 5,000 before I took it out because I kept buying back in, going down. Dude, I was like, this is so stupid.
You were chasing it.
Because it was like the same thing. It's like people who are big in the stocks said this, and they said this is why, and it made sense. You know, they're making $175,000 per tanker per day. Yeah. And everyone was like, how could this lose? How could it lose? To this day, it's I bought in at like $7 and it went up to $8.50. And then right now to this day, it's like $4.60. It never, even at earnings, everyone's saying at earnings, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. Earnings come, it was like a flat line. Nothing. It didn't affect it at all. I
have such mixed opinions about stocks because it's always that coulda, woulda, shoulda sort of thing. Like in February or March, when everything literally reached its bottom for the past like 10 years or
March 18th.
I don't know about you, but I didn't buy in. I didn't buy in a crazy amount. I to this day, like I'm just balls deep in regret for this. Like I really wish I could have put in like $100,000 and just like kept it there, but I don't know why I didn't.
Well, that was the thing. It's like I had $135,000 in the account ready to go, but here's what happened. I started the transfer on Wednesday, and it takes 3 to 5 business days. So Wednesday go by, it hasn't transferred yet, and then comes Monday, Fed announces 0% interest rates, crashes like a motherfucker. Yeah, I'm like, fuck. Tuesday comes, it kind of has a little bit of a recovery. I remember driving home and looking at my phone. Were
you waiting for like the right moment to
I was waiting for my fucking money to transfer.
Oh, the money didn't transfer yet.
The money finally transferred on Wednesday after a big like 4% spike out of nowhere because the Fed announced a bunch of stuff. So I'm like,
more injection.
It's got to come back down, right? It's got to come back down. So about a week later, I think April 1st, it came down, and I learned about cost per averaging. So I'm like, I'm not, because I was going to put all in once on that fucking Monday, but the money didn't transfer. So, I got in at Facebook for like 10 grand at like 153. I sold that at like 230. So that was good. But I remember this too. You want to talk about regret, dude? This is like it was that day actually, April 1st. I loaded up. Square was at $42, and I loaded up 30,000 into it, and it was on the swipe up to place order. And you didn't do it. And I was looking at it, and I'm like, I don't know too much about Square. I'm not gonna make this. I closed out of it. To this day, that would have made me $130,000 just from that one play. And so, dude, I'm not gonna lie. There was like a good 3 or 4 weeks where I was real down about watching the stock rise, and
I've been in Spain, but the S is silent.
Yeah,
for a long time.
Yeah,
I missed every single time Tesla went up. It rallied.
Yeah,
but for some reason, I do an options play one day. I swing it from Thursday to Friday. I make $3,000 the first day. The next day, Tesla fucking tanks because Elon tweeted. He didn't tweet the stock price was too high, but he tweeted something else, and the price, like the stock price went down so much, and my options literally were valued at $0. I lost $8,000 in a day.
Oh my
gosh!
Just
for fucking no reason. And mind you, 1 month later, Tesla fucking rallies pretty much double its price. Like I would have made at least like $250,000 off that $8,000 investment.
It kind of
fucked.
It really makes you think, like, do they know? Like, do they read my mind? Because from March until June, like part of the reason I went to Colorado was to clear my mind from just putting my head in all this stuff. And so when I was in June, the entire time I was doing puts all the way up. So I was like, lose money on puts, because I'm like, the market has to come down. Look, nobody's working, everything puts. So eventually I said, fuck that. I'm just gonna really learn. A whole bunch of stuff. Yeah. This is when I was very confused of what direction I was going with stocks. And then I'm in Colorado. The SPY fucking hits 320. Oh my. And then I see it drop down to 310. And I'm like, you know what? This, for the first time, I'm going to do the opposite of what I think should happen. Instead of buying puts, like calls. It's obviously going to go down because there was this like a failed vaccine or something. I'm I'm going to buy calls. It's like a 3 or 4 day call. It goes down to 300. The first time I ever buy calls, and the first time I ever did the opposite of what I was supposed to do. But I don't know if you saw this. This is my setup now. If it'll load, I got all of this. Oh no, I shut it down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stock trading setup.
Yeah, dude, that's a $5,000 stock trading computer.
Really?
Yeah. It's
what are you trading on? Thinkorswim?
I'm doing E-Trade right now.
E-Trade. Switch to Thinkorswim.
No,
TD Ameritrade.
I am. It's that's it. Oh, it's not popping up. I am right now. Okay. All that work for nothing. I'm doing E-Trade, but E-Trade has some shitty ass paper trading because I'm just paper trading right now.
Okay.
There's like a big thing in the works between me and my mentor.
Oh, we gotta talk. You were working on something, right? The project.
Yeah.
Yeah. Talk after this.
We can talk about that after.
I remember you were mentioning it to me. I was hyped to hear about it.
My mentor was talking like this guy's been trading for like 25 years. Like I think I've told you how much he's like made. Maybe I haven't.
No, I don't even know who he is.
I'll tell you outside the podcast. But I asked him his beginning trading. Like when did he begin trading? Mm-hmm. And he's like 38, and he said he opened his first brokerage account with Charles Schwab, 12 years old. Wow. Yeah, it was like through his dad. Okay. So his dad allowed him to trade, and he said this was so before computers that the way he would monitor his stocks is by them running below on the screen. That was the only way. And when he wanted to place a trade, he'd have to call up as a 12-year-old to his agent.
Hi, can I buy?
Exactly.
I don't know what stocks existed in 38. But
first 9 months, he made $80,000
as a 12-year-old.
12-year-old.
Wow.
And
prodigy.
And then when he went to cash out, his dad said, "No, you can't. I'm keeping the money. Take this as a lesson and never trust anybody with your money."
Wow.
And guess what? He said he was thankful for that because he learned never trust anybody with your money like that.
Yeah.
And so, it ties into that. But I'm just really fortunate to have this guy guiding me through.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Super nice guy. He spends hours of his time. It's exactly what happened with Mr. Blue.
Mr. Blue.
And he's the one who recommended that book. And when I saw that line, I understood why he spends so much time with me.
Yeah.
Because I met him a year and a half ago.
Is he from here?
He is originally from, he lives in Vegas.
Okay.
But I've met him twice.
Okay.
Everything else has been texting, calling, voice memo. But the crazy thing is I met him a year and a half ago, and it wasn't until I've been talking with him. It wasn't until 4 months ago that I learned that this guy is the most wealthy person I have ever met, and it's not even close.
Oh, yeah.
It is not even close. And it's amazing because this guy is the most, you would never expect it.
Bro, same. I'll talk to you after this about like someone that I know that's worth like 9 figures.
Yeah.
9-figure shit.
Yeah,
like,
this is same thing.
You wouldn't even know.
You would never even know. When you get to that level, 9 figures, I think those people...
You gotta go ghost.
Exactly.
You best believe when I'm selling this shit for 100 M's and I get that wire,
exactly,
I'm off of Instagram.
With how many people want to try to use us now, can you imagine you just throw an extra couple $100 million in the table?
Just a couple
$100 million, and say you like want to extra flex like Dan Bilzerian type shit?
Yeah.
Dude, I can't even imagine that level of stress.
Dude.
And just suspicion at all times.
I wouldn't feel safe.
Yeah, because, I mean, that's the one thing.
Because what happens whenever your companies get acquired, obviously, like, there's headlines about it. Everyone knows about it. You know
even like Joe Rogan's thing.
Exactly. Like, you see Spotify handing him 100 M's for his show, you're gonna want to know a little bit more about Mr. Rogan.
Yeah.
Like, it's clear.
I heard a rumor it was actually a little more.
Yeah, it probably was.
Yeah.
I probably downplayed it. It's definitely worth more.
Yeah. And he said people offered to buy a percentage all the time. He just kept saying no.
Spotify was perfect partner. They did something with Addison Rae too.
Oh, really?
She's collecting the bags right now.
Addison Rae.
Is
that a singer?
Shawty, you little baddie. What's the song? I need a bad bitch. Addison Rae. I need a bad bleep. Addison Rae. And she's a TikToker.
Oh,
she
really?
has like 44 million followers, but
she's not a TikToker in 1 month.
1 month.
She won't be anymore.
I don't know. I think TikTok will be fine.
I don't know. The order has been signed, so
I think they're gonna get acquired. Like they're not gonna give up 150 million users just like that.
I don't know, man.
And having their top creators who are also from here just like taken out. But the good thing about, you know, these people is that they've diversified their following. So like, you know, even if TikTok shuts down, she has her Instagram, she has her YouTube.
Not all of them. That's the thing.
Not all of them.
Because TikTok.
But the top ones.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
On
They
YouTube
got
and
nothing to
Instagram.
worry about.
Yeah.
That was the one thing I noticed on TikTok. It was the poorest performing social media in terms of bleed out to other social medias.
Yeah.
I'd see people with like hundreds and hundreds of followers on TikTok and then like a couple thousand on Instagram. It was very weird, bizarre, because that would not happen on YouTube or Twitter or Facebook. I guess maybe Twitter. Twitter's kind of like more of an impersonal social media.
Twitter, you go viral, you're not going to gain the most followers. Like even if you have a tweet that gets like 1 million likes, you'll probably gain like 1,000 or 2,000 followers.
Let me ask you this. Have you ever thought of your own social media?
App?
Yeah. Like, have you ever, like, I always think about that all the time. It's like,
when I was younger in the app stage, like as a 14-year-old, I wanted to do social media because like I saw the Social Network with, you know, the fake Mark Zuckerberg guy, the actor.
Who?
I don't know who the actor was, but that movie, The Social Network.
Jesse Smollett.
Yeah, whatever. I saw that and I was like, yeah, I want to do my own social network, but like in reality, like why would I do it when there's people more talented, more funded, and
I just couldn't imagine. It's like, it seems like everything's been thought of, all the bases have been covered, and then every once in a while you'll get a Vine, you'll get a TikTok.
Yeah. But
now it's just like we're so far deep into this. It's like, where's this go?
Yeah, all the top players are there already. Like,
dude, and you really see the damage social media is causing, and I think TikTok exposed that specifically in the younger generation.
Oh yeah,
we were watching just a bunch of kids from the window. It's like they don't care about what's happening anymore. My biggest thing is like, it's weird how. So there's one thing that's weird, and then when you dissect it, it's very bizarre. So the weird thing is people see something beautiful, funny, interesting. The first thing is to pull out their phone, right? Like this.
Yeah.
But when you dissect that and you look at the motion of it, you see a beautiful sunset. First reaction is look down.
Look down.
Look
away.
Look away
from the sunset.
It's like, whoa, when you look at it like that, it's like, these people are being taught to look away from things they like, they enjoy, anything they find interesting whatsoever. There's people looking away.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense, but that's the way it is. Especially with TikTok now, like the younger generation, like, you know, kids like 5 years younger than me, which isn't even like, it's pretty young, but like, it's crazy. Like all these, you know, little girls and stuff just be like thirst trapping, like twerking and stuff. Like, I don't want to be on my For You page and I'm seeing a little girl in 8th grade that looks like she is an 18-year-old somehow, just like twerking. Like, why? I don't want to see this. It's
applauded too. That's the weird thing.
And they go viral. Literally, I think it's like the music culture with Cardi B and you know, Megan Thee Stallion. Like, you know, more power to them. They're making a lot of money. They're doing a great job for themselves, but they're fucking the culture up.
They're like, corrupting the minds, and to even say that you can get accused of being sexist or anything. It's like, I'm just looking at the facts. I saw that song too.
Yeah.
Dude, and I heard the censored version first, and I'm like, this is like pretty bad. And then I heard the uncensored version, and I'm like, dude, man, I can't imagine like all the TikTokers doing a dance to this, all the 8-year-old girls out there seeing the TikTok and then adding it to their playlist.
Yes.
The phone is the new parent.
Yeah. Do these artists not realize that they have a fan base of like 12-year-olds and, you know, literally completely underage kids? I'm sure they know of it and they know how viral it's going to go for them, but like they're literally corrupting youth. And like my generation, I think we were kind of okay. Sure, there are a lot of thoughts and like all these people out here, but like it's nowhere near what I think this previous generation is going to be like. Yeah,
the sexualization of younger children.
So much.
It seems suspiciously prevalent and defended now. They keep pushing it, and then when it starts to fall back, it's defended. Pushing it, fall back, defended, and then I don't know. I think this is set up for very destructive future. When I see the kids, when their parents don't want to parent them, so they give them an iPad at dinner. My kid's never going to have an iPad at dinner because I think, like, I'm a strong believer in I don't want to look at my phone. I think dinner, the table, it's like kind of sacred.
Yeah.
I'd
It
never
should be that time you spend
Exactly.
away from your phone. Like even
It
whenever you're
should.
driving your car too, like don't be, texting and driving, like whatever, like if it's an emergency, sure, like do it.
And you got autopilot.
And yeah, if you have autopilot, by all means, pull out your computer, start working. That was a little bit that I did in the video.
Hell
I
yeah.
literally pulled out my computer and I'm like, I'm going to make a Shopify store right now. But nah, like it's just such a toxic society where everyone just wants to be on their phone. It's social media addiction. And I'm not going to say I'm not addicted to social media, because I am. I'm always on, Instagram, always on Twitter. Like, it just become a habit now to just, just refresh and see what other people are doing. But I feel like once you get too caught up in that, it leads you to have a lot of that toxicity in your mind with, comparing your life to other people's lives. And then it puts you further down. And that's kind of what I fell into as well. But then you just got to remind yourself that this is just the life that they're putting out there. And like, we do it too. We post, we flex, we do our stuff. But like 99% of people don't know our real life.
Yeah. Well, and I think what's kind of, interestingly enough, kind of phased out, or social media kind of grew out of this, like 2014, I would say like 2012 to like 2018, a little bit in 19, flexing was like, oh, that's so sick. Like, oh, look at all these Lambos, look at all this. And now it kind of
You're in my
switched.
garage.
Yeah, exactly. Ty Lopez made a career off of that.
Yes.
And then it flip-flopped. Now flexing kind of brings resentment.
Yes.
And people are more attracted to realness.
We're
You know
going
what I'm
dark.
saying?
It's dark mode.
Well, I knew that the light was going to run out at some point. I guess Fez is in the dark right now. We might as well wrap it up here.
Yeah. I think we've covered pretty much all aspects of
went
life.
2 hours. That's a solid podcast right there. I hope the drive was worth it. That was about a third of your drive right there.
It was. It honestly didn't feel like it was. This was a really good conversation.
Right.
Always talking with you. Our nights in LA, like it's just
Absolutely.
always been a pleasure. Always very nice bouncing ideas back and forth.
It's always cool when you just fall into like that's what I noticed with podcasting recently. You kind of fall into like a haze where you just kind of lose track of time and you're just into the conversation. It's just like going all right there.
Right.
So I guess if you have anything to promote, I'll have Fez's social medias in the description below.
Appreciate it.
It's like here, I'll give you some light for the final scene.
Give me some light. Shine the light. All right. I'm Fez, 19-year-old entrepreneur out of Chicago, lived with Scott for a while. This is my brand, Sweetdreams. You can go to mysweetdreams.co or .com. Buy this product if you want to go to sleep and support a company that is soon going to be worth $100 million. Scott is going to see it happen. You're going to see it happen, and you're going to be a part of it. So check it out, mysweetdreams.co or .com. We have Sezzle financing on there too. So if you're a broke boy, you can afford this for $17 for like 4 or 5 months. So no excuses at all. You can follow me on Instagram at Faiz, F-A-I-Z. And I also make YouTube videos about e-com and like dropshipping and life and business in general, kind of like vlogs and stuff. Scott will link it in the description down below, or you can just search up my name, Faiz Warsani, F-A-I-Z W-A-R-S-A-N-I. It's been a pleasure. This has definitely been worth the drive.
Absolutely. I'm super glad it did.
Yes.
And one closing thought, I think it'd be funny if you got into the Faiz clan, you'd be Faiz Fez.
I actually have very close ties at Faiz clan.
Yeah, I remember.
'Cause I've worked with them multiple times.
Oh, I remember.
I brought it up actually. I've just been jokingly like, when can I become Faiz Fez? They're like, oh, it'll happen soon.
Were they calling you Faiz when they first met you?
Most
people do, I bet, right? That's what I thought too.
Exactly, but it's
all right.
pronounced Fez.
Well, thanks for coming to
The Simplified Podcast.
Extra Loud, dude.
Wow, love it.
Peace.